Open Line Friday, we're back on our Curathon 21st Annual Leukemia Lymphoma Society, folks, is the world's largest voluntary health organization dedicated to funding blood cancer research. They are all volunteers. And we welcome back Donald Trump. I need to ask you about Paul Ryan and what you meant. You said that he's got to be very careful not to be too far out. Do you mean too many years out in his planning or too far out in his thinking?
Too far out with the plan itself. He's doing a plan. He's done a plan. He's come out. And what the Democrats, and I see it more and more, and I hear from them, because, again, living in New York, that's what I see is Democrats all over the place. And what they're going to do is saying it's attack on Medicare. And Medicare, to a lot of people, means seniors. And that this is a very strong attack on Medicare. And I honestly think you have to go down the line in a bipartisan way. You have to go down with the Democrats. I don't think they should be too far out of front. Don't forget, we don't have the president yet. Hopefully we will have. He's supposed to be leading this attack, not us. And they can do rejections. They can criticize his plan. But you have to be, in my opinion, there's an election in 2012, right?
Yep.
In my opinion, he has to be very careful, because when he mentions even the word touching of Medicare, and Medicaid to a lesser extent perhaps, but when he mentions even the touching of Medicare, they're going to attack him unmercifully. I just think it's a bad position.
They're going to attack him anyway. They're going to attack him just like they're going to attack you. Now, his plan doesn't touch current recipients. That's one thing he's very clear about.
Right.
But you last time you were here, I shared with you some questions I had from members of my audience uncomfortable with donations that you have made to Democrats, Rahm Emanuel, Chuck Schumer, and so forth. You explained that you have to do business in the places you live. They're the ones that hold power. They hold office. You mentioned compromise just now. Donald, what are you going to do if you're elected and all of a sudden they start accusing you of wanting to kill babies and kill old people, which they will? That's what they do. Your friendship's going to go out the window with these guys. When it comes to their political power, they're going to come after you the same way they go after anybody else in the Republican Party.
Yeah, you're right, Rush. But I will say this. When I've dealt with Democrats and Republicans all my life, and somebody said, "Oh, do you have that much experience politically?" You know what? I've dealt, and you understand this better than anybody, I've dealt with politicians all of my life. I've also dealt with foreign countries. I'm doing jobs all over the world. I've dealt with foreign countries for a long period of time. The fact is, I think somebody that got along with the Democrats, and I do get along. Now, that can change instantaneously. You understand that. But the level of animosity, in the old days, across the aisle wasn't the worst thing. People got along. Today, the level of hatred, and I'm the most militaristic person there is if they treat me improperly. But I think having a little bit of a relationship on the other side of the aisle is not so bad, Rush, with deals can be made, but good deals, not the deal like Obama gave the other day. That wasn't a deal. That was a campaign speech. That was his first campaign speech.
But they're not going to want you to succeed at anything. They will stop progress for America. Your relationship with them will change once you become elected. If you become president, and you might have the ability to bring them in line, but they will not start that way. They will be out to destroy you, to preserve their way of life, their political ideology. Remember, their power derives from creating more and more people dependent on government for their daily needs. You don't believe that.
Rush, you're probably right, and probably it won't work out in the kind of manner which makes sense and would be good. And then they'll see the real Donald Trump, because I do much better under adversity than I do the other way. I'd love to see it work where people could actually get together and go down the line and straighten out this country. You're probably right, and that's fine. And then I'll do, I think, an even better job.
Well, it would be fascinating to me because you do know them. I
know them so well.
You have socialized with them. I think that if they tried to attack you the way they attack every other conservative or Republican, you might have a leg up on them because you've got years and years of being able to say, well, Chuck, you never said that to me before. You never accused me of wanting to kick old people out of their houses. Why do you think I want to do it? I say, you would have that opportunity. So you thinking you might announce this on an upcoming episode of The Apprentice?
No. What I may do is the finale is on May 22nd. And I may announce on the finale the date of the news conference where I'd make the determination.
I see. By the way,
and that will be, in any event, sometime prior to June. Because, somebody actually said to me the other day, let's do it in June. I said, I can't do that. They said, no, it'd be perfect. I said, no, I can't do that. Because I have been saying for 6 months, sometime prior to June. They said, oh, no, it doesn't matter. If you say June, I said, no, you don't understand. When I say prior to June, that doesn't mean June. So I will be making an announcement sometime prior to June. And I may surprise you, Rush.
You always surprise people. I mean, that's. Well, I appreciate your time here today, and everybody appreciates your donation to the Curathon effort here. That was a shock, and totally surprising. Before you go, it's probably a silly question, but have you stopped to think how your life will change were you to be elected president? I mean, it's nothing like, for example, would you move to the White House?
Well, I guess you'd sort of have to, but the truth is it would be a lot different. And again, if I had my choice, I wish this country were running great. I wish I could stand up and say, wow, this place is really running fantastically. And by the way, if it were, I wouldn't be getting poll numbers like I'm getting because, people look at me as somebody that knows what he's doing, whether they love me or don't love me. They think I know what I'm doing, and that people aren't going to be taking advantage of the country. And that's why I think I'm doing very well in the polls. And by the way, I see the other politicians, and, I don't think that's going to be happening. So if I had my choice, I'd love to keep doing what I'm doing. The country is in serious, serious trouble, like it's never been before. And that's why, would I rather stay in Trump Tower? Would I rather stay and lead the life I'm leading? And you know something about my life. It's very good.
Yes, I do.
The answer is yes, but I love the country, Rush.
Donald Trump, appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And we'll talk to you again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you, Rush.
Donald Trump talking to us from Trump Tower in New York, explaining why he's doing this. And it dovetails with what a lot of us think. The country is in terrible shape, worse than it's ever been. And again, he opened by kicking in $100,000 to the effort to cure the blood cancers today for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of America. Our annual Curathon, 21st today, 3 decades we're spanning. Telephone number is 877-379-8888, or you can go to rushlimbaugh.com to donate. Take a look at some of the premiums we're offering for certain levels of donations. We'll continue after this.